Hi everyone, welcome back again to the Tales of Jesus as we explore the wonderful stories, the parables that Jesus told to his people, his disciples, and to us. And this week we're going to look at two little parables that come together. It's the parable of the lost sheep and the parable of the lost coin. You'll find them in Luke chapter 15, and they're just before the story of the lost son, the prodigal son. I am forever losing things. Ask Basma and she'll tell you. I'm always, for example, losing my keys. And the cry goes out, has anyone seen my keys? Just occasionally, the keys are in Basma's bag, in which case I start to get a little self-righteous and smug. Much more often, they are, as my mother used to say, where you left them. And so I hunt high and low and find the wretched keys so I can leave the house. But one time when we went to fly overseas, when we got overseas to Jordan, found we didn't have any keys to the car. Not, of course, that mattered when we were in Jordan. When we came back, we didn't have keys to drive the car from the airport home. And we looked everywhere. We went to lost property, we had searched our bags, our pockets, we searched around the car in the car park, and even after we got home we phoned people up, we phoned the airport, and we kept hunting, because that key was not only a problem in terms of getting home, but it was also really valuable. It cost a lot of money. We sought out the lost key with all our might. And these are stories about seeking out the lost, God seeking out the lost with all his might. Here is how it goes. It's chapter 15 of Luke, verse 1. Now the tax collectors and sinners were all gathering around to hear Jesus. But the Pharisees and teachers of the law muttered, "This man welcomes sinners and eats with them." Then Jesus told them this parable. Suppose one of you has 100 sheep and loses one of them. Doesn't he leave the 99 in the open country and go after the lost sheep until he finds it? And when he finds it, he joyfully puts it on his shoulders and goes home. Then he calls his friends and neighbours together and says, "Rejoice with me, I have found my lost sheep." I tell you that in the same way there'll be more rejoicing in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous persons who do not need to repent. Or suppose a woman has 10 silver coins and loses one. Doesn't she light a lamp, sweep the house and search carefully until she finds it? And when she finds it, she calls her friends and neighbours together and says, "Rejoice with me, I have found my lost coin." In the same way, I tell you, there is rejoicing in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner who repents. Well, these lovely little stories have a context, a background. Luke tells us specifically it was because the Pharisees and teachers of the law were muttering to themselves that Jesus welcomes sinners and eats with them. And so these stories are to those religious types. And one little thing that needs to be pointed out at this stage is the idea of telling a story about a shepherd and about a woman is already to provoke the self-righteous. It might seem strange to us, but those same Pharisees and teachers of the law thought shepherds were unclean. This is doubly strange because, of course, Moses was a shepherd and Isaiah talked about shepherds. But nonetheless, for some reason, those Pharisees thought shepherds were unclean. And here's Jesus telling a story about a good shepherd. And not quite the same, women were not unclean, but clearly to make the woman a hero of the story to those men was not the way to make them feel really positive. Jesus deliberately singles out as types of God someone who's unclean and a woman. This is astonishing. and it is deliberate. Jesus then challenges their righteousness and their feeling of being smug on all counts, even at the very beginning of these stories. So there's me feeling a bit self-righteous when the keys turn out to be in Basma's bag. But we can all be self-righteous. We can all be a bit smug. We can all think we're okay or we're better than the other person. We shouldn't as Christians. We are simply sinners who have been found by the Good Shepherd or the Good Woman. Next time we're going to explore these parables in more depth. See you then.